Hello there, welcome back to another episode. In this one, we're looking at Nvidia stocks. So of course, Nvidia is a very cool company. Yesterday we looked at AMD. Tonight we're looking at where this one might go in the future, because obviously over the past year we can see that this stock is actually up 120%. Can this growth continue? Will it carry on into the new year? That is the plan for this video. So yeah, we're just going to start off by having a look at how the stock has been moving. Then of course we're going to be looking at what the analysts say, and then we're going to be giving my personal opinions towards the end. So starting off by looking at what is going on over the past, year or so, we can see that on the, in fact, let's start off on the 1 year chart. We can see that on year to date, we started off the year on $239. We're finishing off on $518. You know what? That's quite a big increase for quite a relatively stable stock. So I am happy to see growth like this on the 1 year. So it's nice that we are seeing some positivity. And of course, if we put this into perspective over the past 5 years, we can see this year has seen a big amount of growth and continue in relation to what we usually see on the 1 year chart. On the 6 month chart, over the past 6 months, we do appear to have stabled out at this price, and I'm happy to see that. We've seen highs in the year, I do believe, around here, which hit over $573, and then we saw another high point up here at $582, but unfortunately from there, we have been down ever so slightly. It's not really been a big decrease at all, as you can see just from this point here to here. It's not been going down too much at all, so it's not looking too bad overall, but yeah, that has basically caused us to be in the red on the 1 month. Again, not really by too much. Let's get a percentage on that. We can see it's only down by 3% on the 1 month chart, not really even too bad at all. And on the 5 day chart, we are down again, and this time it's very, very small. Let's get a percentage on that if we can. If it will let us, I don't think it will for some reason, but I can tell you it's only down 0.5%, so of course not too bad at all. It's almost positive at that point. It's really not doing too bad. It is looking like it does have potential to go back up into the new year, and that is something that I would like to see. So of course on the most recent charts, we can see that on the 1 day we are actually in the red, not by too much again, only a 1.3% decrease, but it is in the red, so that is something to consider. A few other things to note about this stock, it has a market cap of 321.7 billion. That is a very large cap indeed, and I think it's looking good to see something like that. I would have expected it to be a bit higher, but overall I don't see this as too bad at all in comparison to the competitors like AMD, which do have a relatively similar market cap. So of course this is a decent sized company in the industry. If you know about what the company does, we're going to be moving on to that in just a moment, by the way, but if you do know, Nvidia and AMD, they're both leaders in this market sector, and of course for that reason, they're kind of very famous brands, and that's why the stock price is so high as well, on top of the fact that they produce very good products. So yeah, other things to note, they have a PE ratio of 84.92%. They have a dividend yield of 0.12%, so not too big at all, but at least they do have a dividend, so that is nice to see. And of course, just looking at what the company does, the description of the company is basically a graphics processor and chipset manufacturer. And of course, if you do know what they do, they basically produce graphics cards mainly, but they do other things, but they're most famous for their graphics cards. They actually have the GeForce series, that is one that is very well known, and of course that's what a lot of retail gamers do use, so I think that's very interesting to see. They have a lot of other things which you might want to look into if you do want to do your own due diligence, which I recommend that you do, but in my personal opinion, this company is very solid just from the market sector and what it does. It's a very nice company. I think the numbers are not too bad at all in my personal opinion, and I think we are going to see future growth, but we're going to be moving on to how big that growth is going to be in just a bit. So yeah, some important things to note. We can see the shareholders of the company here. So of course the institutional investors are actually kind of significant at 27.85%. The individual stakeholders are 4.43%, and the mutual fund holders make up the majority at 40.48%. So you can see who's holding this stock here, and of course that kind of does show some strength, because if a lot of funds are holding this one, it shows that it's a more stable, solid growth stock for the long term, in my personal opinion, and I think that is a good thing to see. But you know what, let's have a look at what the actual analysts say by their forecast. So we can see on here, if we can, have I gone into the wrong one? Yes I have. Yeah, let's just have a look at what the analysts are saying, and we can see that the majority of them are kind of looking decently on this stock. So on the high side, and by the way, we have 35 analysts which are looking at this one. On the higher side, we're looking at a 35% increase, pushing us up to $700. On the medium, we're looking at a $600 stock by next year. This will put us up 15.7%. And on the low side, we're looking at a decrease of 28%, which would of course put us at $370. So of course, the average, the median, is actually positive. So we're looking at an estimated 15.7% growth, and that is considered to be a fair estimate by all of the 35 analysts, because that is kind of the number in the middle, if you understand where I'm coming from. I think, yeah, that is showing some great figures. So yeah, looking over here on the analyst buy rating, we can see the majority of analysts are saying that you should buy this stock. So we have 26 analysts out of the 39 saying that you should directly go out and buy this one. We have 4 saying that the stock is going to outperform what is expected of it. We have 6 which are saying that you should hold the stock. So perhaps if you don't already have it, then you should not buy it. But if you do have it, then hold it for a longer period of time. And we actually only have 3 which are negative on the stock. So we have 2 which are saying directly to sell it right now, and 1 which is saying that it's going to underperform. So I find that very interesting. Overall, we have good messages from our analysts over on CNN, and of course for our sales figures, we can see some of these here. If you did want to do more research into them, you can do that by yourself, because I do recommend that you do more research into this one by yourself. But my personal opinion on this one is that it's definitely a buy. It's definitely a more stable stock, by the way, but I am not a financial advisor. But yeah, I think that if you are going to go for this one, don't expect amazing growth, but you can expect stable growth. I think into the future, this one's going to provide decent returns for a long time, and I think it's definitely one of those solid stocks from a decent company that you might want to add to your portfolio. So thank you for joining us in tonight's video. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.